Let's dive into understanding the dreaded C compiler error, expected unqualified-id before token. This error usually pops up when you try to access a member of a structure, class, or union incorrectly. It essentially means the compiler is confused. It encountered a .e operator expecting to see something that identifies what you're trying to access before the dot, but it found nothing valid. Let's break down the common causes and how to fix them. 1. Missing structure, class, union definition. The most frequent culprit is simply forgetting to define the structure, class, or union before attempting to use it. For example, if you have myStruct.member, the compiler needs to know what myStruct is beforehand. Ensure you've declared the structure using struct myStruct sign members before you use it. If you're using a class, make sure it is fully declared before instantiation. 2. Incorrect structure, class, union name. Typos happen. Double-check that the name of your structure, class, or union precisely matches where you're using it. A simple misspelling, like myStruct instead of myStruct, C is case-sensitive, will trigger this error. 3. Forgetting to create an instance. You might have defined the structure, but you haven't actually created a variable of that structure type. Defining struct myStruct Boschen int x only creates a blueprint. You need to create an instance like struct myStruct myVariable before accessing its members like myVariable x. 4. Incorrect scope. The variable or structure you're trying to access might not be in the current scope. If myStruct is defined within a function, you can't directly access it from outside that function. Make sure the structure or variable is accessible where you're using the dot operator. 5. Missing header file. If your structure or class definition resides in a header file, ensure you've included that header file using include myHeader h or myHeader a if it's a system header in the file where you're encountering the error. The preprocessor needs to know about the structure's definition before compilation. 6. Namespace issues, C++. In C++, if you're working with namespaces, make sure you're properly using the namespace or referencing the element within its namespace. For example, if myStruct is a namespace myNamespace, you might need myNamespace, myStruct myVariable, or using namespace myNamespace, though using directives can have drawbacks in larger projects. 7. Incorrect pointer dereferencing. If you're working with pointers to structures, you must dereference the pointer before accessing members. If myStruct is a pointer to a myStruct, you need a myStruct member, or more commonly, myStruct member to access member. Addressing these points will often resolve the expected unqualified-id before token error. Remember to carefully examine your code, paying close attention to structure, class, union definitions, variable declarations, scopes, header files, and pointer usage. Systematic debugging and careful attention to detail are key to eliminating this common compiler